All right, we should be live. We should be live. We'll give it another second to think, but we should be live. So here we are on the main page. Yada, yada, yada. Just testing out really the camera quality, making sure it's pretty good, pretty crisp. It's saying 29 frames per second, which obviously is not good at all. It sucks and it's terrible, and I'm really, really sorry that I can't provide better entertainment. But yeah, newsfeed, there's nothing because it's just me right now. So let's work together to create a really great, amazing platform where we can collaborate and work together. Let me see. Let's go to youtube.com. What should we check out? What video should we watch? For the sake of demonstration. Let's see here. Second Thought has been putting out, no, he really has put out great stuff. I'm not a socialist, but they have a great way of thinking. Oh yeah, let's see. This is a really important one. I wonder if he'll show the graph. I'll show the graph first, in fact.
Naturally tender and juicy.
Gee whiz.
Comes in
Unionization rate versus income to So this is the most illustrative graph of all time. And it shows the union membership rate, right? There was a time when it was at 30 to 25%. You can see the share of income going to the top 10%. And you can see when there's more unionization, less wealth goes to the very top. And more wealth, of course, goes to the bottom, which is extremely important. And oftentimes when they talk about the American dream, they give examples to it. You think of a time period, you usually think of the time between the 1950s roughly, right? Late 1940s after the war, all the way up until the middle of the 80s, which is like right here, this last peak, and we've just been going down, down, down. And I would love to see how this graph has fared. I'm sure it hasn't been good. I don't know if they stopped doing this for whatever reason, or if, maybe we can continue it on our own. But, we should be somewhere like over here, and it would be lower, lower, lower. Meanwhile, this would be probably skyrocketing through the roof. So it's things like this that we need to keep in mind. And I wonder if Second Thought put it in any part in their video.
Hey gang, this episode is brought to you by Means TV, the world's first anti-capitalist streaming service. Stick around after the episode to learn a bit more about Means and to snag a nice little discount as a thank you for supporting my channel. Earlier this year, about 50,000 dock workers went on strike for the first time in almost 50 years.
Dock workers are on strike.
Tens of thousands of workers, they're striking over pay and concerns about automation.
This is going down in history, what we're doing here.
For 3 days, workers on the East Coast shut down 36 ports going all the way from Boston to Houston, blocking about half of the U.S.'s imports and 2/3 of the U.S.'s exports via container. At around $5 billion a day, this was one of the most costly strikes for shipping companies ever. As you might have heard, these dock workers were striking for very reasonable things. Things like higher wages and protection from automation now that their current contract has expired. It's not yet clear exactly what their new contract will look like, but thanks to the 3-day strike, they've got a tentative deal for a massive 60% raise over the next 6 years. The automation issue isn't resolved yet, but soon, the highest paid dock worker will be making about $63 an hour. And this is pretty...
So here's the other thing that I kind of noticed while doing this is that the camera is terrible. Look at this. You see those lines? That's horrible. The camera shouldn't have lines going through them. Ready? I'll do it again. See those lines? Anyway, it's really a problem that I'm barely getting 30 frames a second, and that's not very good for viewers' sake. So I do apologize for that. Yeah. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, though. There really isn't much else to be said for this video. He talks about history of unionization, why it's good, why we need to increase the rate of unionization. And again, this is a nonpartisan issue. This isn't something that is like, should be hyper politicized for any reason. It's literally the more union